Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Sky Slash here, and I want to welcome you to the new series that I'm providing onto the YouTube channel right now. It is the Value Plus series. This series will be taking a look at the games that you receive for free through the PlayStation Plus membership. This month, which is March of 2015, we actually received 3 games. At least at the time at this recording, there were 3 games that were released. One was CounterSpy, which you see the gameplay in the video background right now. The other was Oddworld: Abe's Odyssey, and then you also received Valiant Hearts. Those are the 3 games that were released, and we're going to talk a little bit about them and determine if those games were worth the price of admission, let's say, the $10 you're paying per month for the PlayStation Plus membership. Looking back through them, the first game that we have up here, CounterSpy, it was really fun. It is really fun. It's a really good kind of just, I'm going to pop in, I'm going to do something, I'm just going to have a little bit of fun, and pop back out. And the levels don't seem too long. They kind of do get a little involved. There's a lot of stuff you can do when you start getting into it as far as actually side missions, doing little other objective quests and things to it, as opposed to just taking a storyline. But they're all upgrade reasons, really. They're all there for if you want to upgrade things, you want to get a little bit higher and go from there. I really like the DEFCON system that they put into the game as well. It's really neat. It's a different take on kind of the 2D side scroller in a way. It's not really a platformer you do. Well, there is some platforming elements and everything to it, but it's not in the form of what you would think of like Mario or Castlevania or anything of that nature. It's kind of its own, and I really like that. It's a really neat game. Honestly, this game itself, when you look at it compared to the other 2 that you receive, and the fact that you're getting 3, you actually have to take into account that you're getting essentially 3 games for the price of $10 a month, or $10. So you're looking at about $3.33 per game. You're looking at a value of pretty good for what you're receiving. The only game that I had that was a little lackluster, I would say, would be the Oddworld game, and we'll get into that when I start talking about Oddworld itself. But this particular game wasn't that bad. It wasn't. I felt like I got $3 worth. I felt like I got more than $3 worth out of it, honestly. It was really nice. It's really polished, it's really smooth, it handles really well. There wasn't a time to where I was kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't seem too good or it doesn't seem too responsive. I mean, it's really good, and for that, I mean, I give it an A plus in this one. I believe it was worth the price of admission for the PlayStation Plus. Now, the next game that we have, on the other hand, that one's a little bit different. So we're going to jump into Oddworld here, Abe's Odyssey. And I know there's some nostalgia to this game that was an Oddworld released a long time ago. I remember seeing one when I was a kid, and it never really grabbed me. I never played it. I never went through the series. I never did anything with them. So nostalgia isn't getting me. I'm not looking at this through rose-colored glasses. It's to me, it's not that good. It has a lot of content in it, don't get me wrong. It has a really good map system. I like the way that they integrate a lot of things into it, especially with the health, where you can see the actual birds above your head whenever you hold the triangle button. It's not, that's a pretty neat little scenario. It's pretty cool. But the thing that kills me is in the gameplay element itself. It's kind of unresponsive, at least it was for me. Whenever I'm used to games like this that are in the vein of, I dare say, Mario, Crash Bandicoot, you know, the kind of Earthworm Jim-esque even. It, I want it to be responsive. I want to be able to push a button and it do the thing because that's what it's there for. And the game itself isn't all that complicated. Well, when I hit the biggest gripe is the jump button. When I hit the jump button, it takes it about a half a second for it to actually jump, unless I'm running. But at least in the early levels that I found, there's not a lot of instances of you being able to run. So there was one part in particular that you'll probably actually see whenever you look at the video for this particular game. It required you to stealth between a couple guys, and you had to stealth to one guy, distract him, and then after you distracted him, you would have to jump up on top to pull a lever to get him to fall down so you could rescue the guy up top. Well, when you do the distraction, you have to sneak. You can't run. If you run, he hears you, he turns around, and he shoots you. You have to sneak. So if you're sneaking, and then you try to jump, sometimes he would have, even throwing the distraction thing as far off as you could, he would still turn around and shoot me. And it kind of got a little frustrating, honestly. But I mean, I understand it happens. I'm not the best stealth player either. But when I hit the button to jump, I want the button to jump. And that one little mistake, that one little gripe, kind of took me out of the game. It kind of made me not really want to play it much more because of the lack of I don't want to call it sensitivity, but the lack of input where when I do something, even sometimes throwing, when I would throw, I would hit the right stick to aim my shot. I would hit the R1 button in order to throw it. When I would throw it, sometimes there would be that lag. So if you're trying to get it right there at that exact spot, it takes it a minute, even with pulling levers. Now, the pulling the levers, there is a bit of an animation that he goes through in order to do it, so you have to time that. But even then, sometimes when I would hit the interact button in order to pull the lever, it would take him just a little bit longer to start the animation than it did previously. And then I actually start, it messes up your timing. It messes everything up, and so it starts getting to where you're doing things that just aren't there. There was one part, even in the video, where I was trying to disarm a bomb. The timing's not that hard to comprehend. It's, you have to disarm it when it's green, and it's got a long green pause, red, short green pause. Long green pause, red, short green pause, and then there's a little bit of red in between. It's not that hard of timing to comprehend, but even then, it took me a while to get it because it felt like the input wasn't there. So, in that case, I mean, honestly, to me, it kind of makes it at about a B, C plus, B minus in that range. It's worth $3. If the other two games weren't there and I was paying $10 for this, I probably really wouldn't go through. But because of the game that you now see on the screen and the previous game before it, I don't mind it being bundled in with this. As part of the bundle, it's fine. As a game by itself, I'm probably not actually going to play. I'm not going to continue playing the Oddworld game. But this game, on the other hand, to transition in, Valiant Hearts. This game is amazing. The art style is really good. It's kind of cartoony, but even though it's cartoony, it deals with a really, really mature subject of war. It has amazing elements into it. The creators of this game really kind of went the extra mile with it because I believe it's telling, to me, it feels like it's telling an absolutely almost true story. To me, it's telling a story of the different sides because you see, you know, at least what I've seen so far, you see 3 to 4 different sides of this war, from prisoner to the French to an American being in France to a German. You see these different sides and it portrays them very well, and you have a lot of snippets of actual history facts, of actual things that are going on in that world at that time, that you get photos for, you get documents for, you get diary entries from these people, these characters that you're looking at, and it really just sucks you in. And if you want to go through the reading, go through everything, find the collectibles, then you can get a lot more value out of this game than just playing a game, because that it's more of a history lesson at that point. It's more of a learning tool. You're actually getting more out of a video game than just a video game. And I love that. I love that it's rooted in a history aspect that is true to heart and true to our culture and everything. I mean, it's true to everyone in this world. I mean, this was a really big war. And I love that part about it. And I love that it makes you feel that things on the screen that are happening like right now, they make you feel, they kind of put a little lump in your throat, and they make you think about what's going to happen next. Like there's one scene with the puppy, and I love the puppies, don't get me wrong, I love puppies, that I don't know if that puppy's going to live. I don't know if I'm going to live. And that sense of urgency, that sense of almost dread in a way at some points in time, it really gets you. It really does. And like the scene on here, it really makes you think. It really makes you feel for the game, which is something that a lot of games don't do, and what really kind of draws you into this. And honestly, I give this game an A+. I believe this game is worth the $10. I mean, this game alone is worth the $10, but bundled in with the rest of them, it's really good. So all the games have a little bit of a playthrough on them. I did a little bit of a video on each one. Be sure to check those out, so that way you kind of get a really good idea of what's going on with all 3 games. And we're going to continue the series, and next month we'll keep out the rest of them. If there's any of these games you want to see me play, just let me know. And again, my name's Sky Slash. Like, favorite, subscribe, all the social things. And if you enjoy my content, just let me know. Let me keep going, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Later.